Ladies and gentlemen, live from East Lake, Ohio, right across the street from Captain Stadium, it's the Cleveland Sports 360 show with your host, LG. Tonight, he brings strong style gym all the way from Independence, Ohio. The number one ranked 125-pound MMA fighter, Jessica the Evil Eye. Also in studio with him is no other than MMA great fighter, former fighter, but he still can put on the gloves and train with the best of them, my man Bobby Friend. Without any further ado, make some noise for your boy, LG!
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the next edition of the Cleveland Sports 360 show. As my man Kenyon Johnson told you, we got Bobby Friend in-house. In a few minutes, we're going to be joined on the phone by none other than Jessica I, who's in training right now and taking some therapy, getting ready for her next rumble in the cage, and she's going to rip it up. But right now, we got Bobby Friend, who is revolutionary MMA trainer now that his fighting days are over. How the hell are you, Bobby?
I'm doing fantastic. Can't complain.
That's fantastic, man. Tell us, you got this Ricky Foster. I mean, this guy's cut up. He's ripped. We got a picture over there of you and Ricky Foster. Tell us who the other two guys are with you, man. That's your team, right?
Chris Pat is definitely on the team. He's all hard. He's a former Marine. He's out of Berea, Ohio. He's a really good kid. And then the other one trying to make the team is Myron Andrews. Myron went to college, and he was a college teammate of none other than Johns Bones Jones, the UFC light heavyweight champion of the world. Myron's just a hell of a wrestler, and we're looking forward to doing what we got to do.
Now, you got a big event coming up in April. Tell us a little bit about that, man. I know Ricky Foster's going to be featured in this event, if I'm not mistaken, right?
That's correct. Ricky's making a comeback, and it's April 27th at Rocktagon in Brook Park, Ohio, at the old La Villa Party Center. Ricky, actually, and coincidentally, April 27th was the last time Ricky fought, 2 years ago. So he's fighting again on April 27th under my tutelage. Like I told you guys earlier, Ricky left his team. He took a layoff. We met. He started training with me, and he asked me to train him. I'm his number one coach. I'm it. I call the shots. I book everything for him, manage him. Ricky puts his time in, and we're going to get it done on April 27th.
Now, I had the pleasure of going down and watching a Bobby Friend training session before, and I'll tell you, people, right now, if you want to be an MMA fighter, the biggest thing is the training and get proper training, and as far as I'm concerned, there's nobody that's going to get you ready any quicker or make sure you're ready to get into that cage than Bobby Friend, who you can get a hold of in downtown Cleveland on Prospect at Titans Gym, and now you're moving over to the Menor, Ohio facility as well. Isn't that correct?
That's correct, yeah. Jeff wants me to come on over and teach 2 nights a week over there, MMA conditioning class. It's Titans Gym in Menor, and it's going to be the hours they're looking for now is Wednesdays at 7:30 and Mondays at 7. Downtown Cleveland, noon on Tuesdays, a noon class, and then we have a class on Thursdays at 7 p.m. and Saturdays. I got the team, MMA team. We're in there on Saturday mornings around 11:30ish, and we walk out of there about 2.
Now, you don't have to be an MMA fighter to get a hold of Bobby Friend and do some training, man. So if you're thinking you need your cardio built up and you need some endurance, and I tell you right now, I don't think anybody's going to build any more endurance than Bobby Friend. Tell us, your main focus is endurance when you're getting these guys ready, right?
The number one rule with me is conditioning. If you can't get through the conditioning, you are not going to be a fighter. It just isn't going to happen. So if you think you're just going to walk in and do what you want to do, I'm not a yes guy. I'm not going to keep telling you, you're the man or you're the woman. I'm going to break it down to you. I'm going to be up front with you, and I'm going to tell you like it is. If you cannot get through the conditioning in any gym, I'm just, one lone trainer at Titans. Strong Style has a great group of people down there, and they have, fundamentally sound. They have coaches for every style down there, which you should have at a gym. Our gym isn't big enough for that. I'm just a guy running it right now and helping people out that want to come in and be serious. I can only help them, along so much, and then steer them the right way to one of these other gyms with the bigger facilities.
Yeah, but I mean, as far as conditioning goes, you know what it takes because you've been in that cage before, man, and you know when a guy's going to be ready, and you know when a guy's dogging it too, right?
Yes. I trained under Thomas the Wildman Denny, a former King of the Cage world champion, super fight champion, and they beat the hell out of me out there. Him, Quentin Jackson, Brian Warren, a great group of people out in California where I traveled around and trained. Here, when I was boxing, I boxed under Bobby and Richie Giacchetti, Mr. Pinzone. Went to SAC headquarters in Omaha, Nebraska. I trained under Master Sergeant Friday out there. And I just put everything together. Everything that I've learned, I put it all together, and I just made up my own program. And I'm not going to BS anybody. It's pure hell, as you've seen.
I've seen it, and I've seen guys that thought they were good enough to try to get through this pure hell that couldn't make it through the cardio session of the training before it was even time to spar. It's thank God you had the common sense not to let this guy put the gloves on, huh?
Yeah, he would have got mauled. It would just been really bad.
I just want to tell everybody out there, bear with us. We're trying to get Jessica I on the phone right now. She's involved in a little bit of a therapy session. Also, she's training. Fill us in, Bobby. Where is she and what's she doing right now, man?
Jesse's training down at Strong Style right now. She actually called me up today. Or texted me. I called her back. I mean, for people that don't know, Jessica and I are pretty good friends. I've always spoke to her with a lot of respect. When there's problems or issues, she kind of looks to me for advice. I'm there texting-wise, calling her, or, hit her up on her Facebook. She's a great person once you get to know her, and she's got my full support 100%, and she's a local fighter. So we are all Buckeyes here, and we need to get behind each other and push each other and be there for each other. And I've been doing that for the last year and a half for her, and that's what's going on. So as soon as she gets done with her training there, she's going to be a little bit winded, people, but she is going to be calling in, and she will be on the show.
Now, what's she up to, Bobby? I mean, come on, man. Tell us a little bit about Jessica I. Obviously, she's the #1 ranked 125-pound contender in the world, right?
That's correct. That's correct. And she's getting ready for her next fight. I believe her next fight is in April also.
Where's that going to take place, man?
I think it's under Bellator contract, and it should be on MTV. She can fill you in more when she calls. She works really hard. She just got back from Texas with a sponsor down there, and working with I think another gym down there, getting some work while she was down there. It's not easy when you do the sport that we're in and you train, because injuries happen every day. You got to ice it up, heat it up, chiropractor, acupuncture. No matter what it takes, you just got to go get it done. And unfortunately, this is what fighters go through. If everybody thinks they're just going to come in and ballroom fight and then train with one of us, it doesn't happen like that. You're going to get your lumps and bruises, and you're going to be sore the next day. It takes a toll on the body.
And let alone, I mean, there's broken hands, there's broken feet, there's broken fingers, broken toes, right? I mean, anything, because there's guys that had to take time off because of a broken hand, right?
That's correct.
Why did Ricky Foster take 2 years out of the ring, man? Tell us about that.
Ricky's amateur record was at 5-7, and I think on the first show that I initially did with you, I told you Ricky is a lot better than 5-7. He was. I don't really know the team he was with personally, but his record should have been reversed, maybe even a few more wins under that, under his belt. But he just took time off to gather his head together, his personal life, and when he made it decision to say, you know what, now it's time to come back. And he, told everybody, I never had a coach. I never really had a coach like this. I'm not, tooting my horn. Ricky will tell you this.
Well, you don't have to toot your horn, man. I seen your work. I seen what you produce, and I seen the guys that benefit from your tutelage, man. I mean, first of all, you've been in this cage. Don't think you got a big head and you're tooting your horn, but you're telling the truth, man. And one thing these people need to realize is the truth is going to help them.
Yeah, like I say, if you come down to me,
I think you should be tooting your horn right now, Bobby Friend. I think people need to get a hold of Bobby Friend if they want to pursue any kind of career in MMA, UFC fighting, man.
Well, I mean, I would love to help them out in the sport of MMA and get them to go where they want to go.
They don't know.
It's not going to be easy.
They don't. They don't know what they're in for. I've seen it firsthand. I was amazed myself. And you got to want to die. I mean, you got to want to die to get to where you need to be.
Well, you got to find out what's ticking in your chest, and you're going to find out real quick. Probably at any gym you go to around here, but with me, definitely, because I'm going to see what I can snatch out of there.
Yeah, I don't think people realize what it takes to get in there. And what are these, 3-minute rounds, man? Amateurs
are 3-minute rounds. Pros are 5-minute rounds.
5 minutes, you're in there. You're not only boxing, you're wrestling, you're kicking. It's unbelievable, man. It's just crazy, man. It's unbelievable how long it takes to train for 5 minutes of nonstop action. And you see these guys, I know you don't really like to see your fighters sitting on the floor or rolling around on the ground. You train your guys to get the hell out of that, right?
Oh, yeah. There's a rule. Don't ever sit on your ass during, even during your breaks, as you've seen. I don't let people sit down. You can take a knee.
I'm saying while you're in that cage fighting, Bobby, friend.
You got to go.
You don't want to see guys tied up and laying on the floor. Your fighters are going to get loose, and they're going to kick the ass of the guy they're in the ring with.
Well, even when we go to the floor, I mean, you strap up, it's going to be a bumper ride. We're not going to, you want a teddy bear, you need to go buy one. We're not going to be that that type of team. People pay good money for their tickets to come to events. If you're coming, I can guarantee you this: if you come to see Lords of War, my fight team fight, they're going to scrap. They're going to give you everything they want that you want to see. We're not going to be BSing around. We're going to knock somebody's jaw off their face or break something. We don't want to go 3 rounds. We don't want to go 2. Let's go in there and just get it done and get out, period.
Well, let's talk about this for a minute. April 27th in Cleveland, Ohio, off of Brook Park Road. You guys are going up for it.
Rick, my number one guy, Ricky Foster's up first. All the talking's over. We're in our camp right now. We're busting our asses, and we're going to see. There's a lot of talk. We love it. We feed off of it, and I'm going to throw Ricky in there. I'm going to let Ricky turn people's heads, and then everybody say, well, when in the hell is Lords of War fighting again? That's what I want to hear as soon as Ricky's done.
How do people get tickets to come out to this event, which is really a remarkable place to go see a fight? We did Leave No Vet Behind, was boxing last year. Kenyon and I think it was right before Memorial Day weekend, Leave No Vet Behind. It was a great time, a great place to see a fight. They put the ring right in the middle of the big party room. How do people get tickets to see this event, to see your fighters go, man?
Well, you can contact me on Facebook, or you can contact Ricky on Facebook. That's your first 2 choices, of course.
So give them the name of the page and who to call. How to contact you, man.
Just look me up on Facebook, Bobby Friend on Facebook, or Ricky Foster on Facebook. If we will get back to you as soon as we can. Or you can go to Rocktagon.com, and you can go through there to get your tickets.
So Rocktagon.com. Remember that, man. And the name of the party center one more time is?
La Villa Party Center on Brook Park Road. It's the old Mally's Factory. It's right on the corner of Chevrolet Boulevard, and Brook Park, right there. You can't miss it.
April 27th.
April 27th.
MMA.
I got to ask you a question, Bobby. Now, I know a lot of people, they bring in, like, boxers. Every boxing event that we bring in, it's mostly like Cleveland versus Detroit or a different city. Is that similar to what the MMA is going to be doing also?
This last event that Ricky and I went to about a month ago, it was a lot of guys from Canada. And a lot of some like Wooster, Ohio, and Lorraine, or Wooster and Cleveland, and Mansfield, stuff like that. That's what they try to do. It makes more sense. As far as my team's concerned, I really don't give. I don't care who we fight. Everybody's an enemy. No one's going to be safe from us. We don't care if you got a big gym, a little gym. I don't care. The bigger the name you got, the better off we're going to do when we knock your ass out or tap you. I don't care. I'm going to love it. I'm just going to grace and bathe in this.
Now, Bobby, what is your responsibility once Ricky climbs into that cage, man? Tell us what your job is once the fighting starts.
Ricky's going to tune everything out. Those couple hundred people, couple thousand people, only thing Ricky Foster's going to hear is my voice calling out combinations, and he's going to execute, and we should be out of there. I'm hoping to be out there in about a minute and a half. It depends if this dude wants to stand in the middle of the cage and go ahead and control it. But we'll take it from there, and then Ricky's going to control it, and then Ricky's going to listen, and it's going to be over.
Yeah, this guy looks cut up, too, man. I mean, Ricky Foster looks like he's in phenomenal shape, man.
He's a bum.
Compared to 2 years ago,
just kidding.
What do you think he is? How much better do you think he is than when you first got him 2 years ago?
Ricky has matured. That's the biggest key. He's matured. He knows he can't be surrounded by yes men. He's got to listen. Ricky kind of like my son. It's yes sir, no sir in training. Not yeah, okay, Bobby. Okay, this it's sir, or yes sir, coach. And that's the way it's got to be conducted. Now, when we're done, that's different. Ricky and I went to the fights together last time. We do everything as a family. Ricky has made huge strides, and you got to figure we still have more than a handful of weeks to this fight. There's a lot of stuff that we're still going over.
Yeah, you're talking about 2 months away from.
Yeah, we still have a full camp.
Yeah, 2 months away, 60 days, really 62 days until this fight takes place.
Ricky was fighting at 170. He's making his comeback debut at 155. He's a big-ass 155.
He's going to be a lot quicker at 155.
Absolutely.
Huh? And I'm telling you, man, he looks good. He looks cut up, and I know if he went through 2 years of your training, man, his cardiovascular's got to be second to none right now.
Oh no, he's only been with me for about 5 months.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah, he's only been with me for about 5 months.
But he lasted for 5 months.
Yeah.
So, that's a huge thing, too,
Well, I had to suspend him once for about a week, but that's under the rug now. He knows who runs the show.
Right. Well, folks, we're still trying to get Jessica I nailed down. As we told you at the start of the show, we're trying to contact her. She's in the middle of therapy and getting a workout in. So she'll be a little bit winded, but we're going to do our best to contact her during this break. And we're going to come back with more of the Cleveland Sports 360 show with Bobby Friend in-house right here on StreamingSportsTalk.com. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Cleveland Sports 360 show. My in-house guest tonight is MMA trainer, ex-fighter Bobby Friend from Titans Gym, downtown Cleveland, Ohio on Prospect Avenue, and Mentor, Ohio on Route 20. We're waiting to see if we can get Jessica I on the phone. She's in the middle of a sparring match right now. She can't be bothered. Unfortunately, she thought that the show was going to be a little bit later this afternoon or this evening than it really is. But hopefully, at the end of the next break, we'll be able to contact Jessica I.
That's correct. She's texted me and said she was sparring. We just got kind of sidetracked here. I asked her maybe by next break, and we'll see what happens if she texts us back or whatever. So it's just a mistake on the timing.
Well, the thing is, possibly if she trained with Bobby Friend, she could spar with one hand and do an interview with the other hand at the same time, man.
She could probably do that now.
What's that? We got a call coming in, ladies and gentlemen. Talk to Bobby Friend and LG here on the Cleveland Sports 360 show. So, Bobby, are you excited about April, man? I mean, come on, man. When's the last time you had this level of excitement with your team?
I am excited, man. I got a good group of guys, come in there and give me everything they got. That's all I ever ask from anybody. Just get in there and believe in yourself and do what you got to do. That's all you really can do. I mean, I am excited. I'm more excited for Ricky because of the naysayers and how the internet works and people that want to sit behind keyboards and make up whatever they want to make up. Now all the answers can go on.
Hey, we got a live call coming in. Caller, can you hear us?
Hey, LG, how you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. How you doing, man?
Hey, LG, how you doing?
Turn off your computer, man.
Not too bad, hanging in there. Hey, I just wanted to call in.
Hey, turn down your computer. We could hear you.
All right, go ahead.
We could hear you, man. It's like we could hear the show and you at the same time on your computer.
Well, I just went ahead and turned it down.
What's up, man? Tell us what's up.
I thought I was a professional.
What do you think, man? You want to come down
Hey,
here
what
and
I'm talking about, okay, I forget names. The guy you're with right now?
Bobby Friend, MMA fighter.
All right. Well, you know what? The girl that you're about to talk to, I went to school. I was talking today. Her sister, Lisa, her brother, Joe, was or still is a personal trainer of this MMA fighter, this lady. And she's supposed to call in. I told her to. She wanted to watch the show. And I don't want to use last names. I don't want to mess up, mess with them on that. But I thought I'd just call in and say, that she was really excited. She's watched our show, and she was excited when she saw it that this lady is trained by her brother. I guess he's really into it.
Now, this lady you know's brother trains Jessica I. That's what you're telling us?
As far as I know, she trains him, and he trains her, and possibly still trains her. I don't know the whole story. But I thought I'd call in,
I think we lost you. Did we lose you, man? You
no,
cut
I'm
out.
still here.
You cut out, man. So you called in to say what? You got any questions for Bobby Friend here about MMA fighting, training, or whatever?
Well, yeah, the biggest question, I don't want to piss the guy off so he kicks my ass. Because from the looks of him, he could.
Well, I thought you weren't afraid of anybody, Leaf.
Huh?
I thought you weren't afraid of anybody.
You know what, pretty much. But you know what,
seriously, though, let me ask you.
I'm afraid of the guy.
Let me ask you a question. Are you into MMA fighting?
Am I into it?
Yeah. You like to watch it?
Yeah, sure. Well, you know what? Back in my day, let's face it, I'm 52. I had a black belt in Ishin-Ryu in Taekwondo. You know what? A kid could kick my ass now.
Does that help you, Bobby, to have a black belt in those two martial arts he was discussing right now to be an MMA fighter?
Well, I mean, I'm not going to disrespect any styles or anything, but I got a black belt and a brown belt, and they both say Kenneth Cole. They hold my pants up. No disrespect to you, sir.
I got a funny feeling. You know what? I ain't going to mess around. Like I said, yeah, I attained those, back in the 70s. Anybody can kick my ass now.
Well, what do you think about the MMA coming back to Cleveland, Ohio, and putting on some fights, man? Is this something you think that the people of the city of Cleveland will get behind and support?
I would think so. Absolutely. And I got to be honest, I don't follow it a whole lot. I do once in a while when I'm, surfing through the channels. I enjoy the heck out of the fights, and I'll tell you what, they scare the crap out of me.
What do you think about
these guys and ladies going at it, and it's like, forget it.
What do you think
You ain't going to get my ass in the ring.
What do you think about these women getting into the sport of MMA, man, the way they do?
I think it's fantastic. And you know what? I'll tell you what, I wouldn't get in the ring with them women.
Oh, no way. Man.
They know what they're doing.
Yeah, you got to give the women just as much respect as the men. They still got, it takes courage to get in there. It takes a hell of a spirit to train. I mean, they need just as much respect as the man. And they just proved it on the card at UFC over the weekend. They were the headliners, and good for them. Good for the women.
Yeah, it's astounding to me how much women in sports is coming forward these days. I mean, just yesterday, I know this is totally off the topic, but the Daytona 500 made history. The first woman pole sitter ever. Not only that, Bobby Friend, was the first woman to ever lead a race lap under the green flag. Hey, Leif, we're going to let you go, man. We got another call coming in. Thanks for the call, brother.
Nice to talk to you, sir.
There it is with his. Hey.
Hello?
Hello.
Is this, are we streaming live on the Cleveland Sports Show?
That's it. This is it. This is Cleveland Sports 360 show.
Is this Jessica?
No, this is Lisa Delguide, and my brother Joe is her trainer.
Yeah, Joe, the boxing coach.
And I just told him now, so I don't know if they were aware of it, or I don't know if this was scheduled, but she's in the gym right now.
Yeah,
I'm trying to...
Yeah, it was. I spoke to her earlier. This is Bobby. I just got the times mixed up. She said she could do the show still. She'd be winded. I thought it'd be at 7, but she just texted me and said she was sparring. So it was just a mix-up in times.
So do you think she'll be on? Because I let my brother know.
I hope so. She texted me and she was still sparring. So I texted her back and asked her 15 more minutes, maybe after next break. So I'm hoping. I know your brother also. He's a good guy. He's a good boxing coach.
Yeah. He's real serious about everything that he does. But I let him know. I don't know if this is just a last-minute thing, because I texted him probably about an hour and a half ago, and he didn't know about it.
Yeah, no, it wasn't a last-minute thing. We tried to set it up about 3 weeks now, something like that.
At least.
Oh, hey, no.
Yeah. Just the timing. The times were mixed up, and weren't sent right through Facebook or the inboxes or whatever. But it's just a mix-up in time. That's all. We'll get it squared away.
Well, let me ask this lady. Let me ask you a question, ma'am. Did you ever see Jessica I fight?
Have I seen her?
Have you seen her fight?
No, but to be honest with you, I'm not a real fan of like women in boxing, and my brother's been in boxing like forever, and he just, his heart is in the sport for some reason, and he just for some reason he just has so much faith in this young woman, and it's something that she wants to do, and you got to respect somebody when they put that much of themselves into it.
That's right. Jessica came from, I know, a track background, and she just started, she was a fan of the sport, and she started training, and look where she's at now. She's a true testament. If you want to do something, go out there and bust your ass and do it. And
yeah, absolutely. She's got a lot of guts.
Yes, she does.
This is where her heart is. Let her do it.
That's right.
Now, what does your brother, as her trainer, have to say about her? Has he ever discussed this young lady with you?
Oh my gosh, he said, she's got, her heart is in it. She's comes from a wonderful family. She puts everything into it, and he is going to do whatever he has to do to help her succeed. And if this is what she wants, my brother is he's not just a trainer, and he's not just a mentor, he's a friend.
Right. Yeah, the Strong Style's got a great team down there. I think they're probably the number one MMA gym here in greater East Cleveland area. Marcus is the head trainer down there, and you got Victor and Pablo, you got Joe. I mean, like I said, they got a coach, they got a trainer for everything down there. I mean, they got their crap together, and that's why they're doing what they're doing down there.
Hey, Lisa, this is Kenyon. Actually, I've known your brother for quite a while. He's actually I've interviewed him a couple times. What keeps him in? Because he's pretty much trained any boxer that has come through this city. Now I know he's getting into the MMA, but what makes him want to keep doing this?
What makes me want to keep doing it? My brother is he's a professional no matter what he does, and he has a love of the sport. He has a mind where he's always calculating. He's always trying to be the best, and he wants to encourage that in other people. If he sees a strength in somebody, and that is what if they feel good about doing that, and he can encourage that, he's not going to stop. I mean, if that's what they feel that they're good at, that's he'll be there with them no matter what. It doesn't matter what time of day. If they want to call him and they need encouragement, it doesn't stop at the gym.
Well, that's dedication, and that's certainly what it takes to do something like what this girl's trying to do, and to be number one in the world. You know, she.
I didn't know she was number one in the world. I just saw that. I mean, it just caught my eye. I didn't know that. I don't keep up with everything he does, but I thought, my gosh, she's number one in the world. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, she climbed the ladder. She went through what she had to go through, and that's where she is right now. She works hard at what she does. I'm sorry I got the times mixed up, though. I wish we would have.
That's okay. No, that's okay.
It happens.
I mean, she'll
Mistakes happen. Yeah, hopefully she will be, on here. We'll try to reschedule, do something where everybody's on the same page, and we'll get it done.
Well, thanks for the call. We really
okay,
appreciate
talking
it.
To you.
Call your brother and tell him to get her on the phone. We're waiting for her, okay?
I will. Okay.
All right, thank you very much.
Night.
You too. Be
man.
blessed. There you go, man. I mean, it shows the determination and the fighting it takes to get ready for something like this. We got another caller coming in right now. Hello, can you hear us? Hello? Obviously, they hung up. We don't appreciate people calling here and hanging up. We're going to come down there. Bobby Friend's going to bring his group, and they're going to kick your ass. Hey, if you got cut off by accident, give us a call back. Area code 216-672-4300. We're still waiting to see if we can connect with Jessica I. First, she was supposed to be here live in the studio with Bobby Friend. Then she found out that she had something else scheduled. We're still working on it. We got 2 more breaks left. Actually, the end of the show, plus 1 break left. Hopefully, we're going to contact Jessica I and get her on. She's in the middle of sparring, some therapy, getting ready for a big fight coming up. Don't turn that dial. We'll be right back with more of the Cleveland Sports 360 show. And Bobby Friend, our in-house guest, MMA trainer extraordinaire, down at Titans Gym on Prospect in Cleveland, soon to be located here at Menor 2 days a week, too. So if you want to train with Bobby Friend, get over to Titans Gym. Look him up on Facebook, Bobby Friend, just like it sounds. We'll be right back with more of the Cleveland Sports 360 show right here on StreamingSportsTalk.com in a matter of minutes. Our in-house guest tonight, Bobby Friend, former MMA fighter, now trainer of some great guys that look like they're ready to go, man, ready to get in that ring and whip some ass. But, Bobby, friend, we had a call during the break. They really want to know how to get these tickets for this event coming up April 27th in Cleveland, right off of Brook Park Road. Give us the name of the place, how you go about getting tickets, who they got to contact, and if you happen to know how much these tickets are, spiel that out too.
I have no idea the price range of the tickets. You can come down to Titans when the tickets go on sale for that event. I don't know the name of the event yet. I know it's by Rocktagon Promotions. You can come down and see Ricky Foster at Titans Gym, downtown Cleveland, or myself down at Titans Gym, downtown Cleveland. Or go to Rocktagon.com for all the other information if we can. You can't get a hold of us down there.
Now, what time are you guys available at Titans Gym? We don't want people going down there on Sunday afternoon and you're not going to be there.
Yeah, no Sundays. I'm with my son Aiden on Sundays. That's Father and Sunday there.
So tell us, what times are you available at Titans Gym, man?
We're training right now on Tuesdays and Wednesdays at 9:30 a.m. to noon, and then we train at Saturdays at 11:30ish to about 2:15, somewhere around in there. That's the 3 days we're on now. Now, when March comes around, we're going to be 5 days a week. We're going to be Monday through Saturday. We're 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday, Monday through Friday.
March is coming around this coming Friday, man.
Yeah, it's coming around right now.
So Ricky's going on a
week,
5 day a week schedule coming up.
5 to 6 day a week.
No kidding, man.
Oh yeah, it's got to be done. I mean,
and then
will
this last right up to fight day or what?
Yeah, it'll last all the way up to about the week of 10 days to the week of the fight, and then he'll just start slowing down. We'll make sure we're making weight and our progress with that. Make sure that everything as far as technique is done. Our combinations, when I call him off, he knows exactly what I'm calling out. He's going to execute everything. I don't have to repeat it. The main thing is to make sure his nutrition and everything's right and his hydration.
Now, let me ask you a question, man. You bring up a valid point with getting weight and making sure you're going to make weight. How much leeway does a MMA fighter have in this weight class? Tell us, like, if, say, you're going to go 150, what was Ricky fighting at now?
Ricky's fighting at 155. He was fighting at 170.
So where do you go from 155 to what? What?
I believe.
It can't be, what if you're 157, 150? You're still in. I mean, tell us.
No.
How does it work?
Yeah, no. I believe in the state of Ohio, you have a grace weight of a pound or 2 pounds. I believe, like if he can weigh 157, that might be okay. It might not. He might only have a pound over. He can only weigh 156. We want to be on point. We don't want to be 154. We want to be 155.5 or 155 on the dot. If there's a grace period of he can be a pound or 2 over, then I want him at 157. By the time he fights, that night he fights, I want him back up to 170. You follow me? I don't want him 150. Yeah, I'm a little bit weight behind his ass. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah,
right.
we don't be 155 on the night we fight. We want to be back up to 170. And there's tricks to do that. And they're legal. There's tricks to do that.
So
and Ricky's black, so he's as your partner knows over there, I can give him some black eyed peas and some cornbread after he weighs in. You know, he'll shoot back up there.
Yes, sir.
How long before a fight is the official weigh-in, Bobby?
When I fought here in the state of Ohio, I only fought here once. I flew home and fought this guy out of Youngstown, and it was for Without Mercy, a John Murphy event. I weighed in that day. It was a Saturday, and now I was able to leave after I weighed in. I weighed in 169. I was fighting at 170. Now that night I had to get back down to Gray's Armory, but it was the same day. I think they're letting them weigh in that Friday, and then they're fighting Saturday. And it does matter.
I'm just saying, you can go from 155 to 170 in a 24-hour time period.
I used to walk around about 197, and I'd weigh in at 170, and then after, like in Georgia and Alabama, you weigh in that Friday. The next day I'd be back up to 197.
How do you do that? I mean, these are little secrets you probably don't want to put out on the air, but I mean,
no, let their trainers go find that shit out.
Right.
I don't need to tell them that. Of
Right.
course, everybody knows the tricks of the trade. It's legal. People can take you up in your hotel room and slap IV on you. There's all kinds of ways that you can hydrate yourself again. It's eating right, and it goes up with the nutrition all the way up to your fight.
Yeah, people complain. People, Bobby, now they complain about these kids and people training them wrong. When I wrestled in Shaker Heights High School back in the 90s, to make weight, they used to put a plastic bag over us and tell us to run around the gym until you lose those 3 or 4 pounds. If they did that in these days, these parents would have fits.
You're right. No, I mean,
you know, I don't want to harp on America, but that's one of the problems. I mean, just you know, and you're a coach, man. I mean, more than anything today, Bobby Friend is a coach. He's
Absolutely.
an MMA trained coach. But, you know, a couple weeks ago, Kenyon, where we get this college basketball coach pushes his player. Now, the player didn't bitch about getting pushed on the floor, the guy from California. He said the coach is trying to inspire me, man. But the kid's parents were bitching about it. It went all the way up to the athletic director at the college had a statement to make that it's unacceptable for the coach to ever lay hands on this any player. It's just totally unacceptable. Like Kenyon says, man, when I was in school, and I wrestled a little bit in school too, and if you were goofing around or nothing, the coach would kick your ass. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was when Kenyon was talking. I went to John Hay. He went to Shaker Heights. I mean, back in the day, when coaches said, you know, that was it, that was bond, that's just what you do, and the parents let them, you know, back in the day, like the Bobby Knight days. You know, that's just how it went, man. Worth ethic.
We would go home and if we went home and told our father that this is what happened, then you get your ass kicked again because he knew you were screwing around in the first place, right. And that's why you got your ass kicked by the coach, you know?
Well, I mean, I had my mother and grandmother. I didn't have a dad, but yeah, it's pretty much the same. You know, worth ethic, and Kenyon, you know this, has went out the window.
Oh,
These
gone,
kids are
man.
lazy,
It's gone.
lazy.
They're too spoiled. Community has got them spoiled. The parents have got them spoiled. I mean, just America in general is just becoming a soft country.
Oh, it's unbelievable, man. Thank God we don't have a war where you actually got to go out and do battle and do some hand-to-hand combat. Can you imagine what would happen?
Yeah, we get our fat
And
ass
that's what I find to be amusing is you see all these young people today watching the MMA because, come on, man, this is overtaking boxing, man. This is one of the fastest.
Boxing's a backseat. We took over from NFL. I mean, MMA is the #1 sport in America right now. It's global. I mean, it's all over, and no matter if you like it or you don't, you have to respect it because what the men and women have to put themselves through in order to get in that cage, they go through a lot. They go through hell. If they're going through the right people, they're going through hell.
That's the point I'm trying to get at right now. We're just talking about these youth being too soft, and a lot of these youth are watching these pay-per-views. They're going to these bars. They're doing what they can to catch these MMA events. The next thing you know, they got big dreams of trying to be an MMA fighter. As you know, I brought a guy over that wanted to be an MMA fighter, and you know, there ain't no sleeping in till 1 o'clock and then getting up every day and going, I'm going to be an MMA fighter. I mean, what do you have to do to dedicate your life to even contemplate becoming an MMA fighter, Bobby?
Find a great gym. Find a great gym and people that are going to treat you like a human being, but they're not going to be yes men. They're not going to fill your head up with a bunch of crazy ideas that you're the greatest thing in the world because they want to take your paycheck in order to pay their gym dues and make some money in their pocket. Make sure you trust the people that are training you, and you know that when you know it because you're going to form a bond with them. You know in your heart, okay, this man or woman that's training me, they care about me. I'm not just a piece of meat. That's the main thing you got to do. And then you got to get your ass through the training.
But the dedication it takes on the part of the guy that wants to do the training, this is nothing you can go at half-heartedly, is it?
No. When I flew out there with Thomas Denny, you know, I stayed out there 2 weeks. I told you, the third day, I was tiptoeing in the gym because everything in my body hurt. And I really contemplated about just flying back home. But I just didn't do it. It worked out for the best for me. You know, people say whatever they want on the internet about me, blah, blah. You know how the internet goes. We talked about that before. The thing is, I did what I did. I know what I did. I know what I accomplished. And right now, I have my own team. I'm training people that believe in themselves. I believe in them. And on April 27th, we're going to make the first statement. And then people can go ahead and tweet and put whatever they want on the internet about that, too.
Well, they could put whatever they want on the internet, but let's see those people that are out there with the big mouths and the big fingers typing on their keys. Come on down to Titan's Gym and train and get through a session with Bobby Friend. I will come there with a camera, and we'll see how these people feel after they get through half of a Bobby Friend session. What do you say about how many guys came into one of Bobby Friend's sessions and could literally make it through the entire training session on their first attempt, man?
Ricky didn't even do that, and he had 12 amateur fights. He didn't even do
see
that.
what I'm saying, man? You could sit back at your little computer desk and you can type all the bullshit you want, and you're not seeing it to believe it. That's what I'm telling you. I saw it. I believe it. I stood there shaking my head thinking, and you know, I knew part of the problem with America today was what Kenyon brought up a few minutes ago, Bobby. We got softness brewing here now, you know. Back in the day, I mean, it was mandatory. You were drafted into a military. And, you know, the basic training that you go through in an armed forces, it's a regimen, but it's not anything what you put your guys through, man. I mean, to contemplate you're going to go in there, you're going to be an MMA fighter because you saw it on TV and you think it's glamorous. Tell us about the glamour side. That's very few and far between, right?
The glamour side is about when you walk through your dressing room, making your way maybe to the cage. That's about besides when you win, if you win, your hand being raised. That's the only glamour you get. This is hard work for men and women. This is really tough. It isn't for everybody. If it was for everybody, then these gyms would be just overflowing with people paying dues trying to get into it. And out on the West Coast, they sign about 30 people up a month just for MMA classes, okay? 30. Now, that's your census. Only 5 stick around.
Out of a 30 people
Yeah, if you
a
get
month.
knocked out, you'll leave too.
Well, you got to be able to get back up. I don't even think it's the knockout you got to worry about, Kenyon. It's making it through one of Bobby Friend's training sessions. But we're going to take a break here with the Cleveland Sports 360 show. I want to apologize to you, ladies and gentlemen. We were assured Jessica I was going to get in here tonight. We still got the last part of the show left. Hopefully we can catch you maybe for 5 minutes.
I have an update on that. I just spoke with Joe Delgado. He says she's in a cage and she's going to be in a cage for a while.
So,
there you go.
Obviously, we're not going to get through to Jessica I tonight, but Bobby, we'll get her another time.
Absolutely,
huh?
yeah.
Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, it was a mix-up in the time. She didn't realize the show went from 7 to 8 p.m., but we'll be right back to finish the Cleveland Sports 360 show live right here from StreamingSportsTalk.com with Bobby Friend. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Cleveland Sports 360 show. We have to apologize to you if you tuned in to see Jessica I. She is in the cage as we speak. The trainer and everybody else is down there working with her. They got the times mixed up for the Cleveland Sports 360 show. We just talked to the boxing trainer down there at the gym. He's very sorry. He says we're going to get Jessica on another time. Bobby, what is she training so hard for, man? What's coming up in the world of Jessica I, man?
Her next fight, far as I know, I think, like I said, it's going to be in Bellator and MTV. Kenya's looking that up now. She's got the #1 ranking. She's got to try and keep that, underneath her belt and work towards a title shot. I don't know, after this next fight, she's going to get a title shot. You would have to ask Jessica. It's totally my fault, people. I just got the times mixed up. I was under the impression that she was going to be done around 7 or so, a little bit after, and she was going to be winded. The phone was going in and out, but she will be on. Jessica's a good girl, like I said, a woman of her word. We just got mixed up, and we'll get her on here for you.
Hey, believe me when I tell you this. Don't take it so hard, Bobby. I mean, the fans are probably a little upset that they didn't get to see Jessica I tonight. We had some great pictures of her. Shit happens, man. We understand that here.
Absolutely.
This is live radio. This is not some crap where you go and tape it a week ahead of time and then show it later. This is live radio, live television. These things happen, man. You just got to get used to it, and it's the way the world falls. Now, how many fights has this girl had under her belt, Bobby?
A lot. I'm not really sure. Can you pull it up yet? Her record is I think she's only got 1 loss, and she wants to go ahead and avenge that loss. It was by submission, and I think it was here in Cleveland. And I think the woman that she fought was from Ireland. I'm not sure because I wasn't there, and Kenny will chime in here in a little bit and tell you. But I think her record's 11-1 or 10-1 or something like that.
We got her here. She's 9-1.
9-1.
She's got 1 loss, 5'6". She's 26, 124 pounds. Our next fight is going to be April 4th in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Jessica I versus Muna Holland.
Well, there you have it, man. No wonder she's training. I mean, April 4th, that's even closer than your guys' next fight, man.
Yeah.
She's a little bit over a month away from getting in the ring in Atlantic City. Tell us, with a month to go, she's probably on a bigger regime right now training than she was going to be on with 3 months to go, huh?
Oh, it's night and day. I mean, she's up so early in the morning, probably getting road work done or getting down at strong style, getting on a treadmill or elliptical, or maybe even, I don't know how many people know what Jacob's Ladder is. I had to do that. It's no fun. I'm sure she's probably on 12, 14-hour day regimens right now. I would say 2 and 3 times a day she's down there training. Plus she's got to get therapy. Then she's got to, ice everything up. I mean, it's rough. It's really rough.
Now, my question to you, Bobby, friend, being a trainer of MMA fighters and being in the northeastern Ohio area, does the weather hamper this at all, man? I mean, can you get this training all done in the gym, or is it more beneficial to get out there in the nice weather and do some solid road work? What do you think?
As far as high altitude, if you can go to take your butt to Colorado or something, absolutely. I'd go to Big Bear, California or Colorado. Yeah, I'd be a fool not to. Training here, running down in the steel yard in the snow and the rain, I don't like that. My bones hurt. I'm an old guy, and my body's been through a lot.
Does the weather hamper the training? I mean, can we train just as well here with MMA fighters as you can do out on the West Coast or Big Bear or Colorado, like you?
We can now.
There's a lot of snow up in Colorado, man.
Yeah, with the altitude helps.
Right.
High altitude. We can now. We the West Coast they were light years ahead of us. The East Coast and Midwest here, we're catching up with the West Coast. I think we're there now. When the MMA started, West Coast, hands down, bar none, was the best in MMA. No one can sit there in a rightful mind and argue that. I was out there, I trained. I was at championship fights. I was there when Thomas Denny won the world title. I mean, I've seen it, and I've trained world champions. Definitely the West Coast was it, but we're there. We're there. We're right with them right now. Ohio's had 4 or 5 world champions.
Now, how long did it take us to catch up, man? Because a lot of times, I notice this with health, nutrition. You talk about medical breakthroughs, training fighters. They're usually 10 to 15 years ahead of us, man. Has it been that long?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah,
so everything they do on the West Coast takes 10 to 15 years before it gets over here, man.
Well, it was with MMA, but now, like I said, we're neck and neck with them now. Unless, except for the wrestlers from Ohio, everybody else had a really, really hard time breaking over. I mean, you had the Militich camp in Iowa. You had Hammer House down in Ohio State with Mark Coleman, Kevin Randleman. Other than those programs, nobody was willing to, really running with the big dogs on the West Coast. Marcus had his other gym before he opened up this big one over here, and he was doing his own thing, back then, and he did it well. He had Forrest Pez, Jeff Cox, I know from when I worked in the flats, he did too. I mean, I'm proud of, all these local people. That's why I want to have Jess on, and we will have her on. We got to back them. We got to push this. Still, like yourself, not really educated about the MMA, about the sport and the background. And I tell people,
well, there's so many sports that I've been covering for so long. Mm-hmm. It's just, you spread yourself so thin. I'm just breaking into the MMA, as you're well aware of.
Yes.
And, covering boxing, I've had boxers on the show. I mean, man, I had Joe Frazier's manager on my show before, mm-hmm. Les Wolf. And right after Joe Frazier passed away, we almost got Smoking Joe himself to do a show with Kenyon back down when we were in the flats.
But, don't forget you had Spinks on.
Yeah, we had Kenyon had Leon Spinks on, man. That was a hell of an interview. So we were into the boxing, but like I said, I just never really got into this MMA until, and I'm going to tell you how it happened, man. My son-in-law, Robbie, and my daughter, believe it or not, liked this MMA. They're young people, 26, mm-hmm. 27 years old. Mm-hmm. We were down in Cincinnati, and we went over to this place, and we started watching this MMA fighting all night long, and the place was completely packed. They must have had 50 televisions all, and that was my first taste of MMA just about a year and a half, 2 years ago. And then I ran across you, of course, and we've been talking MMA ever since. We added some MMA onto the Cleveland Sports 360 coverage, and now we're getting into it, man. And the more I get into it, the more I see that these people are exceptionally tough athletes, man.
They are. A lot of them come from athletic backgrounds. That's what makes them really tough, too. If you're going to get MMA, somebody, asked me before, you want to have, if the best background to have is a wrestling background. I tell people that all the time. Don't come in thinking you're going to be Big Mac Daddy because you have a boxing background or a striking background or a jiu-jitsu background. Wrestling is the best background to have to come in MMA, bar none. But, yeah, I mean, Ohio's doing really well, in MMA. I mean, we're up there, and I'm proud of all the local gyms and the people that are doing what they're doing.
Well, you talk about coming in with a wrestling background, and, a lot of these guys say you got a big, quick, fast guy. Is the other guy really trying to tie this guy up, man? Is that what it's all about, or is it, does he want to knock this guy? Well, what's the thing here, man? Tell us, what do you tell a guy? You're going to go in, a guy's got a big-time wrestling background. You really don't want to get tied up by this guy, do you?
No. If you don't have a wrestling background and the guy does, you know exactly what he's going to do. He's going to throw a 1-2, or he's going to throw, overhand right and go off that one leg, a single or something, and shoot. I mean, you know that. What you want to do when you're fighting someone like that, your trainer should have you just working on sprawls, pushing them off and getting off at angles. That's what
I noticed that was a big part of your training, man, just even running, all of a sudden, sprawl right in the middle of the run, right?
That's what happens in a fight.
Yeah.
I mean, it can happen just like that in a fight, so why not train that way?
Right, right. But you're sprawling, 10 or 12 times in one lap, man. I mean, it's pretty.
Let's not give too much away. Right. Help me out there, Kenyon.
Let's talk about these women, man. You got these women, and you just talked about having a big-time wrestling background. Obviously, Jessica I has a big-time track and field background. You don't see too many women wrestlers coming out of high school and stuff like that, do you?
No, I mean,
so what do you do to get these women caught up? I mean, is this just something that comes naturally to women? They want to wrestle. I mean, I wrestled in the back seat of my car with a few women back in the old days, man. But, that's the only experience I think they ever had.
Was there enough room back there for you?
Hope it wasn't a Pinto.
Hey, boy, you ain't lying.
I was a lot smaller back in them days, Bobby. You get older, shit happens. I got to go start training. When you go to Menor, man, I'm coming down to Titan's gym. It's right down the street. Start pumping some steel again, baby.
That's what I like hearing.
Yeah, man. I mean, you might think LG's out of shape because I am, but I tell you what. I got a lot of heart, man.
That's what you need, heart.
I'll die before I give up.
There you go. There you go.
I don't give a shit. I'll be dead. I'll have the big one. Don't bother me a bit.
Hey, I don't know what you said. What'd you say,
wrestling,
Pinto?
Man. No, I'm saying wrestling, man. How do these women get caught up into the wrestling, man? I mean, there's not a lot of wrestling in their backgrounds, man. How do they get up to date with that, man.
The gyms they go to, that's what they pay these trainers for. That's what the head trainer's for. You know, he'll have a wrestling coach there or somebody that has a ground, experience behind them, and you just train. You know, what you're going to do is you're going to drill some 1,000, 1,500 times. You know what I mean? Till you truly get it. You know, you can do it 25 times, and you'll see people say, all right, I got this. No big deal. Now the 26th time, what do? They screw up.
That's what happens, man.
That's why you do over and over and over. So
you got to drill it into their heads, man.
That's it.
You know, because obviously she's 26 years old, Jessica. She's fought a lot of people. She's 9-1. Kenyon brought it up.
She might be fighting me next since I screwed this up with her. There's your next loss, Jess. Love you, babe.
You could go in the ring with somebody that might be 30 years old, right? And they have 4 more years of experience than you do at MMA fighting, man. Or 10 years even. I mean, so, you got to make sure you're not at a disadvantage. So, Bobby Friend, tell our people one more time. You want tickets to go see this? Ricky Foster, April 27th. Give us the facts one more time, how they get a hold of you.
Come on down to Titans Gym, downtown Cleveland. See Ricky Foster and myself, Bobby Friend, or go to Rocktagon.com. Ricky does make amateurs do not get paid in the state of Ohio, but he can make money off ticket sales, so that would help him out a great deal. Come down and see us if you want to try and get in and try to make my team. Come down and see us. We'll give you a 2-week free pass if you're not a member down there, and you have 2 weeks with us and get down to business and see what you got ticking inside your chest.
Hey, there you have it, man. A 2-week free pass at Titans Gym down on Prospect in downtown Cleveland. You can hook up with Bobby Friend, see if you got what it's made out of to get in that ring and see if you can make. I think you just got to see if you can make it through one of Bobby Friend's training sessions.
And I'm not nothing great. I just do my job. That's all I do.
Trust me when I tell you this. If you got the balls to make it through one of Bobby Friend's training sessions, you're a better man than a lot of people out there.
Oh, we'll take them.
We'll see you next week with more of the Cleveland Sports 360 show right here on StreamingSportsTalk.com. Bobby Friend, thanks a lot for showing up.
My honor.
Jessica, we know you couldn't make it tonight. You're in that cage. We wish you the best of luck, and we can't wait to get you live here on the Cleveland Sports 360 show as soon as you know what? She might be tied up till April 4th, Bobby.
Yeah, she's going to be busy, man. That's why she wanted to call in, too. We changed it from her being here with me to calling in. And, no worries. We'll get her on. We'll get her on.
Good night. God bless you. Don't forget, it's Bobby Friend on Facebook. That's the easiest way. Or Ricky Foster. We'll see you next week. God bless you.
Good night, everyone.